Ask and you shall receive. You ever hear that saying? I used to know a guy who used to always say that. He'd always say, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. What does that even mean, you know? Ask and you shall receive. I mean, what if you ask politely and you get nothing? Do you take it by force? I mean, what if you're entitled to something and you've already asked and you don't receive? Then what? You move on, right? That's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. That's a bit one way though, isn't it? That's not a full, that doesn't really give you like the whole totality of how it works. I mean, things aren't just one way. Ask and you shall receive. That's like something an infant would like, or a baby would think like. It just asks and it just wants. A child doesn't understand things are transactional, you know? There's a give and take to everything. Ask, you might receive, but that's contingent on what you can offer, you know? That's how things work. You ask, person's like, hey, okay, what can you offer for me to, you know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's how it works. Right? I don't know. Ask and you shall receive. What a one way of like looking at things. Such a ask and you shall receive. No, you won't. You shall not. That's another thing too. Like, imagine you're like a rational. I mean, imagine your request is very rational and reasonable, even, and then you don't receive. And then, what if you have little recourse? Like, what do you do? What are the options that you have, really? I don't know. Ask and you shall receive. No, that's not the case. It's two ways, guys. It's not. Sometimes you're even rational and reasonable and you may not even get whatever it is that you're entitled to. Let's say you give something. I mean, imagine like going to a store and you put down, I don't know, $100 for product A. And then the person's like, they take your money and they're like, you know what? Nah. I don't want to give you. I don't like you, you know? I don't like how you look. I don't like how you look. I don't like you. And you're like, what are you talking about? I gave you. No, I don't like you. I don't like who you are, where you're from, what you believe in, okay? I'm not taking your dollars. But you're like, you took my dollars, but you're not giving me anything in return. That's a very irrational person. Isn't that nuts? Ask and you shall receive. But then asking, well, that's different though. I mean, if you ask and someone says no, that's fine. Yeah, then you go about your merry way. Well, what is the meaning of shall though? What does that mean? I shall. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that you have to do something. It just implies the option is there, right? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Ask and you shall receive. What does that mean? Shall doesn't mean that it isn't a guarantee. Does it just mean it's optional, or does it mean it's a guarantee? Because if it's a guarantee and you don't get anything, then that sentence doesn't make much sense. Ask and you shall receive. Does that also imply you receive? Because nothing could also mean something too. Like, let's say ask and you shall receive. It doesn't mean you're going to get what you want or you need. It means you're going to get something. That something could be nothing as well, right? But then, does nothing something? Does nothing also mean something? Like, let's say I ask, and the second part of that sentence is you shall receive. But it doesn't mean I'm going to receive the thing that I asked for. It just means I'm going to receive something, doesn't it? Yeah, the something could be not even what I asked for. And it also could be nothing. Nothing's also... Is nothing something? I don't know. But nothing means not something. So it's not something. That's nothing. That's why it's called nothing. No thing. So that's a different... No, nothing isn't something. But how do you receive nothing? You're not receiving anything. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So it has to be anything, but it can't be nothing. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Receiving means something's gonna fall into your lap. I don't know. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah, I don't like that sentence. It's too vague, you know? It's too vague of a sentence. There's more to that. Like, there's a number of factors that go into that. What am I asking for, you know? Can you provide this thing? All right? Do I have to offer something in return for this thing that I'm getting? Because, I mean, nothing is like a one way. I mean, you know how crazy of an individual you have to be to think that you're entitled to everything just because you asked for it? That's nuts. Yeah, things are transactional. Give and take. I do this, you do this. I do this, you do this. Or I provide, I don't know, some sort of benefit to you somehow, either informal or formal, and then you get something in return. But one way, I mean, you got to be insane to think, or you just do that on purpose, I don't know. But yeah, ask and you shall receive. I was at what did I do today? I applied for a temp job. That's where I'm at, guys. Sonny's poor. Sonny's very poor. Sonny needs resources, but he's poor, you know? Maybe I give too much. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting the things I need in return for the things that I can offer. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What happens when there's an imbalance like that, though? Let's say a person has a lot to offer, but they're not getting anything in return. Then what? What does that mean? It means there's some insanity something irrational is going on here. One or the second, either I'm the one who's irrational, the other party's irrational, or both parties are irrational, but something doesn't make sense, right? Eventually something has to give. Yeah, if a person could do A, B, C, and D, why not give them the resources to do A, B, and C, and D? Unless, of course, you don't need them. There's other people that can do it, which I get, that makes sense. But then you have all these extra people, though, you know? What are they gonna do? I guess you gotta make lemonade, whatever they... I don't know. Yeah, this guy pronounced my name wrong. He's like Senya. What the who's Senya? My name is Sunny. Sunny with an O. Okay? I think he was expecting someone who looked Christian, you know? I don't know. He's like, he probably heard me over the phone and then saw who I was. Like, no, this guy's not a Sonny Haynes. I expected someone to look like Jesus Christ. If only he knew. If only he knew I was raised Catholic. Yeah. It is weird though. I don't know. I don't like talking about religion. That's a I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about it. Not gonna touch that, but yeah, what's in a name, guys? As Dave Chappelle would say. What's in a name? The cogenitor. The progenitor, then there's the cogenitor, you know? The third option. I'm on the third option. I mean, I'm all man, guys. I'm all male. Like, chromosomally, you know? Not in theory. Although there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, yeah, there's nothing really wrong with that. I don't know. What's in a name? Just a name. Yeah. I never understood people who get worked up over language, you know? You're getting worked up over like abstract words. Not even the real thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just a minute ago, a few minutes ago, I was going on and on about ask and you shall receive, trying to figure out the meaning of these. And then what we surmise what this sentence, although it seems simple on the surface, has a lot of issues with it, right? Ask and you shall receive. We looked into it and like, whoa, this is not a very accurate understanding of how things actually work. Things are much more complicated than that. That's the problem with language, guys. Did you know that? Yeah. Words don't give you an accurate understanding of things. Like a name, for example. You may look at a name and then assume a person's A, B, and C, but not really. You have to get to know a person. You have to get to know a person. But it's good if you speak the same language, though. Although even that, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, you could even like, some people say there's some understandings even amongst people who don't speak the same language, for example. Like, there's certain commonalities. I don't know. Maybe people have like a sense for that, you know? You just sort of tell what a person wants or needs. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I need dollars. I need money. That's what I know. That's the common denominator, guys. The numerator, denominator. Denominator is always dollars. Dollars. You can't really do much without dollars. Right, man. You can't start a family without dollars. You can't eat without dollars. You need money. But it goes back to my first part. Like, person could do A, B, and C, and then why not just let them do A, B, and C in return for dollars? But maybe you don't want them, you know? Maybe you can get a better person to do it. But that's not always the case either. We know. Things aren't so easy, you know? Like, the world's messy. The world is messy. Sometimes you might get someone who inherited a win. Sometimes you might get someone who's qualified and didn't inherit the win, but it doesn't really matter. That's a cute dog, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, there's nothing you really do about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But then, okay, but here's the thing though. If it's messy like that, then you can't really get angry at someone for trying to get any dollar any way they can, like, right? I mean, if we just said not everybody's gonna be able to do the things they want or need to do to get X amount of dollars, then how could you get angry at someone for doing something, for example, you deem unacceptable by your standards for just trying to survive? I don't know. Right? Like, if your standard is A, B, and C, but you're preventing people to, like, imagine someone even lives up to those standards, for example, and you still refuse, then you're an insane person. I mean, like, let's say your standard is A, B, and C, and this person even demonstrated that they have so much in common with you behaviorally and culturally, and they asked, but they didn't receive. And then, well, now they got to resort to do A, B, and C. I mean, not A, B, and C. They got to do D, E, and F now, because you know what I'm talking about? Like, there's an insanity. Like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Doesn't make any sense. So let people be, you know? Just let them do, as long as you're not harming anybody, you're not doing anything without their consent, for example. Just let them be, because we know the world isn't perfect, guys. The world is messy. People have double standards. People, you know, double standards, social double standards, misunderstandings. Or misunderstandings that are purposely misunderstood, you know. People benefit from that too sometimes. Yeah, people are nuts. You know, they get hung up on language sometimes. Isn't that weird to get hung up on words? Words don't even, like, they don't exist outside of, well, they come from us, but it's not like they exist outside of us, you know. I don't know. Look, what I'm trying to get at is, Don't harm anybody. I don't know. Yeah. But the only way to do that is if you then, yeah, you can't. I mean, if you want anybody to get harmed, then you gotta put everything in the light, you know? You can't refuse to acknowledge something just because you don't, just because you think it's wrong, or if it exists, if it's out there, then it exists. It's out there, you know? It's out there. Yeah, ask and you shall receive. No, it's not always the case, man. It's not always the case. There's factors. There's a lot that goes into that. Yeah. Insanity. I think a lot of us are insane. We just don't. Yeah, we don't care to admit it. You know? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm not there, by the way. I'm in Ecuador. That's where I'm at. I'm in Ecuador right now. I'm Ecuadorian. Yeah. Because that matters, right? I don't know, the country you are. I mean, it tells me nothing. It tells me nothing about who you are as a person, guys. Isn't that weird when somebody asks you, like, where is this guy from? Well, I guess it sort of might tell you, right? Because then you might adopt whatever, like, customs or like whatever behavioral from that place. But let's say you weren't even like raised there, for example. I don't know. Let's say you were raised in the same place as everybody else, but they still refuse. They still refuse to accept you. That doesn't make any sense. Like I said, like imagine you're speaking the same level. How's this for lighting? Huh? How's this for lighting? I had the video cut off because my battery ran out, so here I am. Do I look like a good Christian boy? Can we sell this in Christian Hollywood? Okay, is this marketable for Christians? You know, Christ descended from the tribe of Dan. Did you know that? He had blue eyes and blonde hair. He was the wet dream of another man. Very famous man. Kanye's favorite character, if you could. Yeah. If you guys are wondering, I mean, guys, I'm Jesus. Did you know that? I'm Jesus, guys. This is him. This is Jesus. This is what Jesus looked like. Yeah. Actually, he was Italian. His name was Jesus Baba the Boobity Christ, you know? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. What was I getting on about, though? Something bothered me on the way here, though. When I was headed back home. What was I thinking about? Yeah, like when you do, like let's say you're, isn't that strange though? Imagine you adhere to the same values as a group, but then they reject you for no reason. And then you decide to play for the other team. But then they're like, hey, we don't condone that. But you're like, I was on your side. And you still reject it. I don't get it. That's what I'm talking about, insanity. People are crazy. Walaho. Everybody's like Bruno Mars on crack. Bruno Mars. Can we sell it to Disney? I don't know. We'll get Drake to make a few sacrifices to some owl. I don't know. And we'll plaster my face on some poster somewhere. There's no billboard. What am I talking about? Look, the powers to be have made a few mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes. That's why COVID happened. But anyways, misunderstandings, misunderstood. I don't think I'm hard to understand. I'm pretty... That's the thing too. Like, you remember the broken telephone? The easiest way to know something or get to know someone is to just ask them directly, guys. If you don't do that, what ends up happening is you get miscommunication, misunderstandings, and then souls get sacrificed. You know what I'm talking about? You probably don't know what I'm talking about. That's the thing about people. People are shifty, you know? They're snakes. But if you're just honest, I mean, just say you don't know a person. Or at the very least, ask said person, you know? Ask them what they want. But if you don't, what ends up happening is you might sign a contract you can't rescind now. You know what I'm talking about? The ultimate contract. It is, it's how the cookie crumbles. It's how the cookie crumbles. I don't know. Maybe I'll be known through all four corners of the earth, just like Kanye, you know? But I won't fall. This goat will fall. The West, I mean, I'm also a goat, but not from the West. Things are never what they appear to be. Did you know that, boys and girls? Did you know that? It's always the ones who project certain values. They don't exactly adhere to them. You see that like in narcissists, for example. Narcissists tend to project horrible things away from themselves onto other people. But when in actuality, they're that thing. Does that make any sense, boys and girls? Yeah. Things are never what they appear to be. Some people are deceivers. Deceivers, arts and crafts. Arts and crafts. How's the lighting on this? The light is being shone on me. Shone on me. The light. Yeah. People only knew the powers to be, how things actually work. But I don't care. I'd sell my soul. Maybe it's already sold. Who knows? Maybe a deal was struck with a character you shouldn't have fooled or even try to trick. I mean, you can't trick the ultimate trickster. It's not good if you do that. I mean, bad things happen, guys. Lots of bad things. Lots and lots of bad things. Well, like I said, people are liars. Human beings are like, you can't like you said, like if you tempt a person, they're gonna... Everybody secretly hates each other, but we all pretend like we like each other. Yeah. Christian values. I'm Christian, like Kanye West, the born again Nazi. But anyways, what was I getting at? Yeah, misunderstandings. You just ask a person, you know, or just talk to them, then you'd know. But if you don't, if you benefit from the broken telephone, then, like I said, the ultimate trickster won't like that. Unless he benefits from it too. I don't know. Let's see. Some of you are probably thinking, what are you talking about, Sonny? I'm talking about Jodie Foster in Taxi. I think the character in Jodie Foster in Taxi, like the actual... I think Robert De Niro played
I think he was a Portuguese Indian fellow. I'm not quite sure. I think he was Portuguese Indian, the cab driver. Hmm. Oh well. But anyways, yeah, it's yeah, this is it. This is all I got. Yeah. Whatever.